man at ugly. Parasite and vultures are dim a greedy. From the crown of me head, top of man.
2K Sports checks in with our loyal viewers with the broadcast from New Orleans, the home of the Hornets, New Orleans Arena. The Houston Rockets coming to this one after a win against the Clippers. And they really took it to them. That's a flat-out blowout right there. There's no other word to use.
And it was all about interior defense in that one. And they were really clogging the paint, blocking shots, overall just really protecting the rim.
Steve, in a word, the defense down low, intimidating.
Look at the State Farm starting five. Here's Houston's opening lineup. Lowry and Martin manning the backcourt. Patrick Patterson is out there with Terrence Williams. And it's Scola in at the pivot, manning the middle. And for the Hornets, Ariza is the three with Weston Okafor rounding out the front court. Here is Lowry. Outside, Martin. Here's Garrett. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. It's on Emeka Okafor.
When you look at the Houston Rockets, always the Rockets have been a tough team on the road. I mean, last season, even though they missed the playoffs, you know, they had the 11th best road record in the league at 18 and 23.
Well, when you think about the Rockets, such a scrappy team, Steve, are you surprised that they've been successful on the road?
Well, they're a tough team. They have smart veterans. They play hard every single night. So it doesn't surprise me. I mean, this is a club that's very capable. And I thought Rick Adelman did a nice job with that team, having them prepared and ready every night.
And let's get this update now from Doris Burke, who's across the way on the sideline.
I caught up with Coach Monty Williams. I asked him what the main reason was for the disappointing record so far. He said, it's not that easy to put a finger on, but we seem to lack that killer instinct. We don't have the confidence to finish teams off, even when we've got them on the ropes. Let's see if they can change their luck tonight, guys.
Thank you, Doris.
Boy, that is a sweet feed from his teammate there.
You know, guys, I thought Carl Landry was poised to become a major factor for the Kings when he was traded there from Houston a couple of seasons ago, but really didn't work out. And then last year he was swapped to the Hornets. But Landry can be a very effective player out there.
And back to Landry, his production stayed just about the same between Sacramento and New Orleans.
You love that consistency. He's the kind of guy, a rotation player who can be effective off the bench or as a starter. And his production really took a big jump in the playoffs, even though because he scored a lot more for the Hornets. They gave the Lakers all they wanted in that first round.
And the Hornets were missing West, so it was a great fit for Landry to be there.
Excellent point.
Already,
he had an opportunity and took advantage of it.
Paul kicks to Ariza. Landry against Patterson. Ariza outside, just 5 to shoot. Paul for 3. It's rebounded by Houston. Getting their first look of the season at this Hornets team.
And the season series between these two teams did not work out well for them last year, and that was costly.
Gets the bucket. He's got 8.
Simply said, it's going to take a much better effort than that, son, on a shooter like him.
That first time out of the game called for New Orleans. They were both on the bubble fighting it out for the bottom seeds.
Those are the games you need to win. You got to win the games you're supposed to, especially coming down to the last month.
So crucial. Landry against Williams. Outside Landry. It's Ariza on the wing. Looking for his first bucket of the game. And the shot is good.
And these two just going at it from deep now.
You know, it seems like what's going on here is anything you can do, I can do better territory.
Back to Lowry. Guarded by Green. There's the dish to Patterson. And it's Martin missing.
He lost his focus there, guys. That's a shot he should make.
The Hornets trail.
This past season, Monty Williams took over the reins at New Orleans, and He came over from being an assistant under Nate McMillan, and he brought that same steady, intense approach to the Bayou.
Lowry kicks to Patterson. A 3-ball. And Paul pulls it down. Back to Monty Williams, and Clark touched on it. Steve, what a dream start for the Hornets under first-year coach Monty Williams last year.
Yeah, they had an excellent season. They had missed the playoffs the year before, but Williams led them to a quick start, and that really established what they wanted to do during the season. They had a nice, solid year. If David West hadn't gotten hurt late in the year, they might have done some damage in the playoffs.
Martin with it. Gathers. Williams. A chance at a 2-for-1 if they want it.
Yeah, no question. If I'm them, I'm definitely going 2-for-1.
He did what he could to try to handle that pass, but that was too hard to handle.
Boy, the defense has to commit so much attention to him. He's just an important part of this offense.
Lowry against Paul. The feed to Ariza. Paul against Lowry. Over Williams. Paul with the bucket. Paul's got his second bucket of the night.
Boy, he just does so many things well out there.
A true pro, a professional display he's put on here.
Fires at the end. Hits it.
That's exactly how you want to close out the quarter, with a basket.
And guys, he got it off just in time. Nice play.
A nice first quarter of play. We've seen plenty of offense so far.
The NBA season picks up steam.
Here's Paul. His last outing, 16 points for him. And West backs in. Kevin Martin with the rebound.
Tough D on the inside.
Put up a roadblock, a construction barrel right there. That's what he brings defensively.
So on the floor for Houston, Garrett in a 2-guard. Martin is out there with Terrence Williams. That's Hayes. And it's Flynn in at the 1. Rockets leading by 5. Last game, an incredible scoring display for him. And that one's good. He's got 12.
Now they've settled into a pretty nice groove here offensively in the second quarter.
Yeah, I like the way they picked up the pace shooting the ball. I mean, the field goal percentage upwards of 50% now.
Jack passes to West. From the stripe. And again, New Orleans has no luck.
And last season, the Hornets were not a big scoring team. In fact, they finished in the bottom 5 in points per game in the league. But it was more a case of just tempo than actual offensive efficiency. They played a very slow style of basketball.
A feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
The finger roll finish. A little finesse for you, folks. You know, his head was on the swivel that time, and he was able to anticipate that pass.
Covered by Okafor. Outside Williams. Outside for Martin. Launches a 3. Count the bucket. And it's a 10-point Rocket lead. And Steve, you're talking about, you know, points scored per game, this fast style or slow style. Clark, you know, they kind of took to that style of play, that slower style.
Yeah, they really actually had guys that were more suited to playing a possession-by-possession game, more of a half-court game, and that deliberate tempo really made sense for them.
Just 4 to shoot. Here's Jack. Rockets with the rebound.
Boy, he had a good look there.
Got to take those when they come.
And slam dunk. Wow! Now the Sprite Slam Cam for the replay.
Come on now, I didn't see. Can you believe that finish? Boy, a little bit of flair and flavor at the end of it.
Oh, that'll be a fan favorite, all right.
That was not your average, typical dunk.
Now here's Paul. He has 6. Picked up by Flynn. Green, covered by Martin. The pass to Jack. They need this. Buries the jump shot.
Look at their scoring. Mid-range jumpers account for 6 of their last 10 points.
Well, defensively, they're doing a nice job of keeping them out of the paint, but you got to give them credit. They're knocking down shots.
Here we are in November. Let's see how things are shaking out in the West early in the season. Taking a look at Houston. They're in second, looking to take over the first spot. And, of course, New Orleans, 4.5 games behind.
You know, checking out the Rockets, they've got to be very pleased with how this campaign has kicked off for them.
Well, it's been a good start, and they'd like...
Always some entertainment value when you go with the windmill jam.
Yeah, rim shaker and Steve a wrist breaker.
Outrageous, man.
Here's Green. 5 points in the game. Got a piece of it. Here's Banks. Ariza outside. He feeds it to Banks. Rockets 6. Rockets leading by 12. And he finishes nicely on the layup. 20 points for him.
Tell you what. They just cannot miss out there.
And the defense looks shell-shocked. I mean, they've been powerless to slow them down. No effect at all.
Outside, Green. He dishes it to Banks. Shoots from 12. The Rockets pull it in. Scoa's got 4 rebounds in this game. Their next game, playing at home, is the Nets coming to town. They start a 3-game homestand with that game.
Keeping up the pressure here. I like that. When you have a lead, don't let up.
Yeah, this game could be over soon if they keep pounding it the way they are.
And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. And now a look at the upcoming schedule for the New Orleans Hornets. Their next game, playing at home, is the Nets coming to town. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home.
Taking 2 shots.
Free throw dropped for... And we've reached halftime in this one. The Rockets on top, up by 12.
Your Hornets, 33. The Rockets, 35.
Hello and welcome to the HP Halftime Report. It's time to break down some Wednesday night hoops. It was the Bobcats with the win against the...
Here's Paul. He has 6.
You know, I look at the Rockets, and they're one of those teams that regularly is scrapping for a playoff spot. I mean, normally they're a pretty tough out whenever they face other Western Conference teams, but last season they fell to 25-27 against the West, just under 500.
West out there with Quincy Pondexter. Then it's Chris Paul. Then it's Trevor Ariza. And it's Jack in at the shooting guard. That's the Hornets 5. Here's Paul. A ways to get back into it, but they've got some time.
He is to avoid mistakes and make each possession count.
Yeah, and I think the tendency can be to really rush or push the game a little bit. I think they need to avoid that.
No good from Jack. Steve, that was their first losing record against Western Conference foes in half a decade.
Wow.
Well, they're always competitive, Kevin. They've always had good teams in Houston, but I think losing Yao Ming for most of the season really hurt them, and they just didn't have quite enough talent to compete against the West at a really high level.
Stolen.
Boy, a loss of concentration, and he kicked it right out to the defender.
And blocked. Rockets leading by 16. The rejection by Paul. Another steal. Terrence Williams on the wing. He's got 24. Here's Garrett, and he sails in for the layup. 26 points for him.
Something has to change, guys. That's 10 straight points coming in the paint against this team.
Well, they got to collapse in there, and everybody's got to be conscious of it. It's a team effort in protecting the paint. Control the ball, and then everybody's got to get in there and keep the defense locked down.
So it's Houston now.
Well, the rumblings have been out there. We've heard the talk about it. The rumor mill is circulating. Any chance Paul joins Melo and Amari in New York? He's talked about it before.
6 to shoot. He's got 26. Garrett. Ariza with the rebound. Ariza's got his 4th rebound in this one. Well, let's try to answer your question about that, Clark, about Chris Paul. He did make that toast at Melo's wedding. By the way, the 3 of us were not invited to. Steve, you got any thought on that particular toast and where he may be headed in the future?
Well, I've got a thought on not being invited to the wedding, Kevin. I felt slighted. I know you and Clark did as well. And I sent a personal note to Chris complaining, and I still have not heard back from him.
Lowry fires. It falls after a friendly bounce off the back of the rim. Lowry's got 7 points in the game. The Hornets trail by 18. Ball's knocked loose.
Guys, you take a look at that box score. 5 turnovers for him. I think he's got to avoid the high-risk plays. Just be solid out there.
Here are the Hornets with the ball. It's an 18-point game. Their next game, playing at home, as the Nets come into town. That'll be the latter half of this 2-game homestand. And here we go with Chris Paul. He's got 6. Jack dishes to Pondexter. Ariza. Williams picks him up. And West backs in. Shot clock at 6. Jack inside the line. And again, no good by New Orleans.
They continue to pull down misses, and that's how they're maintaining this lead.
Yeah, well, one and done is the recipe for continuing to hold on to a lead. You don't want to let the other team back in it by giving them extra possession.
New Orleans making some changes. Emeka Okafor, he's checked in for Pondexter. Green comes in for Jarrett Jack. And Marcus Banks subbed in for Chris Paul. Houston with a big group substitution here. Chuck Hayes, he's checked in for Scola. Hill comes in for Terrence Williams. Chase Budinger, he's checked in for Courtney Lee. And it's Martin in for Kyle Lowry. And the Rockets making a change here. Dragic is checked in. .110 left to play in the third. Six on the shot clock. Takes it right up. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
Now they'll take as many of those high percentage shots as they can get, guys.
Down goes the slam.
Great job taking that one all the way to the hoop.
Yeah, he made the D look non-existent and foolish there.
Here's Banks. Ariza outside. Feeds it to West. Hill's there. West kicks to Green. Launches it. The shot is off. And the Rockets going the other way now. And here's Dragic. He kicks it to Budinger. The three is launched. The Hornets pull it in. Ariza's got 6 rebounds now in the game. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with San Antonio.
Well, they had to have been disappointed knowing that even though they weren't at their best, it was still a game that they could have won.
Yeah, it would have been a gift of a win had they been able to pull it off, but you're right. I think the fact that it was right there for them to grab it and they didn't squeeze it is disappointing.
The 3 quarters of play all in the books, and this one all but over already. The Rockets on top, just dominating this one.
Next Tuesday night, Josh.
While we're still getting underway here in the fourth, let's go down to Doris Burke, who has our Sprite Spark of the Game report. Doris?
Hi, guys. Will you look at the Rockets? The spark has been the exceptional performance from their point guard off the bench. A big reason why they're out in front is because of the second string unit that has been led by him. They haven't let up a bit and have helped them get the lead, guys.
Thank you, Doris. He gave them guys just what they were looking for off the bench.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, I think the game would have been a totally different looking game if not for what he brought to the table.
Well, it didn't take him any time to get into the flow of the game either. I mean, as soon as he got out there, he was ready to roll.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the fourth quarter. So on the floor for Houston, Garrett in at shooting guard. Hayes out there with Hill. Then there's Johnny Flynn. And it's Budinger in at the 3.
And that rebound pushes their margin to +5 on the boards. Solid job on the glass.
Well, it's just part of what they've done here to build this big lead, and it shouldn't be overlooked. I mean, rebounding is a huge part of this game.
Right up. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
That's his first personal foul.
Even though they struggled to get large crowds in New Orleans to watch them play, the Hornets were pretty good at home, guys.
And with the Hornets, Clark, that's a shame because they had a very good record at home. 28 wins and 13 losses in New Orleans.
Yeah, and as a player, I mean, you want to feel like you're being rewarded for your efforts. And for New Orleans, you know, they played well. They had an excellent season. It'd be nice to see the fans come out a little bit stronger.
And yes, sir, that one drops.
They are just lighting them up from mid-range area.
You know, sometimes we forget about the value of the mid-range or in-between game. This team has made 8 of their last 10 with that shot, the in-between shot.
Guarded by Green. Garrett sinks it from just inside the baseline. He's got 36.
Well, that's been nice, efficient work, guys, that he's been doing. I mean, we haven't seen him take many bad shots, and that's the sign of a mature, poised player.
Now a timeout called by New Orleans.
Well, the Rockets play in one of the toughest divisions in the NBA, the Southwest. So difficult to win games in that division. In fact, they won only 5 of 16 matchups with their divisional opponents.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Luis Scola, he's checked in for Hill. Patterson comes in for Chase Budinger. And it's Martin in for Johnny Flynn. West can't hit. Well, when you think about the Rockets playing all these games in that rugged Southwest division, Clark, you know, I feel sorry for them. I mean, a winning record and no playoffs.
Yeah, we just talked about that in terms of how tough the West is. And above all that, they had to play a quarter of their schedule against the toughest division in the league, did the Rockets. There is no easy game when you're in that Southwest division.
They've turned it up here in the fourth quarter, and this is the right time to do that. They're extending their lead here.
And they're up by double digits now. Very solid down the stretch.
They get it back. It's intercepted.
The turnover difference hasn't been in their favor, but you know what? It hasn't really slowed them down too much. I like the fact they're staying aggressive here.
The baseline J. Good.
That's 10 straight points on mid-range jump shots.
You know, to paraphrase a Bible verse that says love covers over a multitude of sins, good shooting does the same thing in basketball.
Here's Banks.
Well, we talk about players in their offseason, what they're doing to improve their conditioning. And yoga has been used to improve flexibility and strength. And that's something that a lot of the players...
And slammed down hard. Another look on the Sprite Slam Cam.
Boy, he hung him out to dry that time. A terrific reverse.
You can't help but be amazed by that dunk.
Man, that's one to remember, huh?
And West backs in. Dishes it to Banks. Moving the ball. The open look. Another one falls for New Orleans.
Guys, you're not going to get away with that kind of defense when he's got the ball. I mean, you got to do better than that.
Takes it up with both hands and rips it down.
You got to be willing to put a body in front of him there. Easy hoop.
But you know what? I don't blame him. That's a lot of body coming at him.
Time called here. The Hornets decide to talk it over.
They've been very untidy with the ball here. You commit turnovers when you try to do too much or you force it. They need to focus on making the simple play, good passes, and moving the ball around.
Some changes for New Orleans. Carl Landry's checked in for Jason Smith. Pizza comes in for Marco Bellinelli. And it's Paul in for Marcus Banks. The Rockets also changing it up. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Stoll. Lee comes in for Patrick Patterson. And it's Dragic in for Kevin Martin. Another steal.
Well, all these turnovers really hurting his team. He continues to give the ball away.
And turnovers, Clark and Steve, have been the issue for him.
Yeah, it sure has been the case. I mean, turnovers are like missing breakfast. Eventually, it's going to cost you.
Why does it always come back to food, Clark?
You cannot back that far off of a guy. I mean, I don't care who he is. These guys are pros. They all can shoot. D up.
That's good. He's got 44.
Well, you can put this one in the W column. I mean, this is locked up now.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I mean, they closed this game out exactly like they needed to. They have a nice lead here and have really controlled the glass for the majority of the game.
Oh!
How's that for finishing with flavor?
Absolutely fantastic.
I think he was saving that one for a special occasion.
Another steal. And here comes the break. All alone. Oh!
Well, they really look to run immediately after that turnover.
Well, that's how you cash in. You don't want to waste any time after the turnover. Go at it right away.
It's tipped. Jumps up on the money.
They continue to go through him, and why not? I mean, he's the leading scorer in this game.
All up top. To halt the run, the shot will not go. And the Rockets go the other way.
Shot seems to be a little awry today, just off a fraction. They've got to have him pick it up, though, and soon.
I think that may do it here. They're trying to put the nail in the coffin.
Well, just adding to the lead as we approach the final.
So we see the Rockets taking the win here. And this one was such a lopsided victory.
They never let up. They were full throttle from the start.
Thanks for joining us for this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. For Doris Burke, Steve Curry, Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan saying see you next time. But first, let's check out the Jordan player of the game.
From the middle of the map, coming to you live from the middle of the trap. Colors in the chain like Skittles out the pack.
It's just been announced that you were once again named Player of the Week. Does this come as a surprise at all after the way you've been playing?
Nah, it's no surprise. Man, they should just name the award after me at this point, because this certainly won't be the last time they're giving it to me either. I'm going to need to build a special room at my house just so I have somewhere to put all this hardware. Hopefully I'll be adding an MVP award and finals trophy to all this Player of the Week junk soon. You know, the trophies that actually mean something.